against Spain. Scotland down to 10 players at the moment through injury, so it's going to be a tough day at the office for the Scots. Spain, who were very competitive in Dubai last week, but failed to back it up to the same extent this week. Here's the welcome for Spain on the right and Scotland on the left. Scotland coached by John Dalziel, and Spain coached by former captain Pablo Feijó. That is the starting team for Spain. Paul Pla and also Igor Genua, two players to keep an eye on. Genua will come from the bench, trying to add a little bit of a spark. Scott Riddell is the coach of Scotland. As I mentioned, they've had some real injury worries. The referee is from Wales, Craig Evans. Scotland losing 19-14 to Argentina yesterday. They beat Uganda 45-0 and were very competitive against England late last night, but ended up losing by 12 points to 7. Spain with 3 losses. They lost to Australia, New Zealand and the United States on day 1.
Okay, sideline.
Greg Clark and Carl Donato in commentary. And Scotland disappointed not to be in the top 8, but you know, they were lacking consistency yesterday.
You know, I think that's something they're really starting to still find their feet under their new coach John Dalziel, what they want to achieve and how they want to play the game. They do have some players that can threaten when they do get possession, but as you said, pretty inconsistent yesterday.
So it is Spain with the early possession, and Sant knocking that one on. Be disappointed with that execution.
The hole was there. It was a nice pass, so Sainz really does need to take that pass, but it's still very much a learning curve for the Spanish team. They've been off the circuit for a little while now, been back and reintroduced into it. As you said, outstanding in Dubai last week, but this week is a different beast. Having the backup is something that these new teams have to sort of get coming into this level, have to get used to.
These two teams first met in 2002, then there was a 9-year break. Spain have won a couple of games against Scotland, both in 2012 in Glasgow and Dubai. So it is Scotland now into Spain territory through Pacua. Riddell now to Blake, and across now to Ferguson. Nothing happening over there, so he takes the tackle. Bounce pass, and it sits up on the left wing. Pacua has got a couple of tries on day 1. Low to Riddell, and Blake has it. And he picks up Ferguson, and Riddell over on the far side.
Back.
Simple stuff, one side to the other, probing and just looking for a hole. Vandal gets it out now to Pacua, and he hands it off. And did Elms get it down?
Well, it's a very sustained and long build-up, wasn't it, from the Scottish team, just going from width to width. We're going to have a look at it.
Happy with touch, doing a check. Okay.
I initially thought it was okay, Greg, from the naked eye. Just going to make sure.
We've got a clear ground in taps. Just like to check if the play was in touch before he grounded the ball, please.
Thank you, Greg, for having a look.
Thank you.
This is Pacua. Pops up the ball. It's a nice tackle. Defence coming across. Oh, there's going to be nothing wrong with this. Dry time. Nice shot.
It's a fair try.
This is the money
Greg,
ball.
when you're on
money
screen,
shot.
you can award the try.
Says it all. I think he got the ball down before his left forearm hits the deck. Good work by Harvey Elms.
So Scotland on the board. Gavin Loeb, the 22-year-old, playing in his 18th tournament with a difficult conversion from out wide, but he struck it pretty well, very well indeed. It's over. So it's 7 points to 0. It is Scotland over Spain. Harvey Elms from Curry.
This is the nice build-up from the Scottish team. Get it out to Picure for about the third time in this movement. The heads-up play to pop the ball up and good body position from Harvey Elms. You've got to remember too, the Scottish team missing Scott White, Dougie Fife and Mark Robinson, who's just retired, the old captain, so very much a changing of the guard.
And the man that scored 8 tries last week in Dubai, Darcy Graham, not in Cape Town either. So that's the halfway mark. And Podgy goes to ground. Carry on. Switch of play. Fontes. And Hernandez. Carry on. Out wide they go to Martin, one of the experienced players wearing jersey number 3, Ignacio Martin. Here he is with the ball again and pops it back, and it falls into the arms of Paul Pla, but he couldn't control it, so we'll have a scrum.
One of the most dangerous players, Ignacio Martin, in jersey number 3. He's been doing it for a long time. There he's there, just popping the ball back. That's back off a Scottish play, and he just had a little look, didn't he, when he was taking their ball, Paul Pla.
Martin, 34 years of age, Rio Olympian, and he made his debut for Spain in sevens in Bordeaux way back in 2004.
Still going good too.
Very important member of this Spanish team as they look to build now that they're one of the core teams again on the HSBC Sevens World Series. And Elms flicks it back to the support for Scotland. Blake and Ferguson. Low. And just losing it there was Riddell.
Scrum red.
In fact, it was Farndale over on the far side this time.
Just taking the hit, releases the ball there. Goes to go again, but just a little knock on, and it was Martin getting back and making that covering tackle, but it doesn't seem to be anything in the middle to really threaten the defence at the moment. They're going wide to wide. With Riddell, Picura setting up, but Scotland needs a bit more in the middle.
Penalty for Spain. And they take it quickly. Pla got a beautiful ball away. Racing for the corner now is Podgy. And the referee might have to have another look at this one upstairs as well.
Do you have a ground in? Okay, so you're happy with the clear ground in? Same scenario? Okay.
This might be an outstanding piece of play from the sweeper coming across. I'm not quite sure who it was from Scotland.
Same scenario as the first
on
one,
Podgy.
We're happy with the ground in.
I thought his legs are out from the naked eye, but here it is here.
The actual ground in, please.
Going into his dive.
Thank you, Craig.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, no, that's good.
It's a game of centimetres at time.
The same thing, Craig, when you're in the picture, you may want to try.
Okay.
It is a try to Spain. They have hit back. Marcus Podgy got one on day one, and now he's got his first for day two. The 30-year-old, good finishing. Francisco Hernandez from Madrid, another one of the Rio Olympians for Spain, with the conversion attempt not successful, so it's 7-5. Scotland still in front. Marcus Podgy, 11th try in his career on the series. They met in Dubai last week, and Scotland won that one 26-21.
It was a nice loop around though, wasn't it? In the midfield, Podgy, the head was going, the back was arched, but he had enough gas and speed in the end just to get there. Nice reply from the Spanish.
Less than a minute remaining, first half. Second of the trophy quarterfinals.
Happy? Right, play on.
Good ball and no tackle from Elms for Scotland, but Spain. Good opportunity here. Carry on. Down the short side they go, and Martin takes the tackle. Pla throws it back. And just a little knock on there. Still to come in the trophy quarterfinals. We've got Wales and Russia next up, and then Aussie fans. Australia taking on Uganda in the trophy quarterfinal in a couple of matches' time. And then if we look at the Cup quarterfinals, my goodness, what about the matchups? South Africa will play Fiji. England take on New Zealand. Canada and France, and then the United States, who couldn't win a game in Dubai last week, are unbeaten so far in Cape Town, and they're looking good to go through to a final. At the bottom side of the draw, the United States have Argentina first up in the quarterfinals. Penalty to Scotland.
Square, please.
Time is up on the first half. They kick it straight out. They're going to have time to throw this ball in. Can't end on the penalty. So now Scotland want to come away with something.
Speed on the line.
Just need a bit more injection in the back line here. Lowe's the one who's going to be at first receiver. Jamie Farndale, I think the more he's involved, the more chances Scotland will have.
Ferguson to throw into the line out on halfway. Won by Scotland.
Pardon? Okay.
And Lowe finds his winger. McFarlane goes to ground. Blake taking the direct route. Eventually going to ground, about 25 out. Lowe stepping, beating a couple. Into the 22, pulled down from behind by Paul Pla, and the penalty goes against Scotland. And Spain survive the onslaught late in the first half. Now they look to break out. Nobody's going to be able to get anywhere near. Have they carry on? Wow. Just when it looked like Scotland were going to be over at the other end, they went to sleep on defence. And Javier Carrion gets his first try this weekend, his third overall.
That's some reward with some great defence. There's a penalty, I think, for a neck roll. And Carrion, who was good on day one, and patches for the Spanish team. Look at the legs going. The chase was hard from Farndale, but in the end, he just had too much of a lead at Carrion. And that definitely is a 14-point try.
Half time.
So the conversion successful as well from Spain. Half-time in the trophy quarter-final, and it is Spain leading Scotland by 12 points to 7.
Game, I think they really will be able to upset or really test a lot of these top-tier sides. The Spanish team, they play a distinct style, and they've got a couple of big men, and Carrion and Martin, who are really adept at getting the ball away and very physical.
Spain leading Scotland 12-7. Cleaned up by Pla. Carrion, who scored just before the break, and he's got support on the inside. Good cover though, coming in from Scotland.
No knock on.
Paul Pla across to Fontes, and the wide ball out to Martin. Picks up his winger. Scotland will have to be very careful here because Spain are on the charge. Martin goes to ground. Carrion. And Pla. Paul Pla! They fell off the little man, and he goes in and steals 5 points.
The little ball players are so good with their footwork, and they just get on the outside. They were stretched with a Scottish defence. You can see there's no one on the inside on the save. They come across too late on Farndale's back, and Paul Pla exploits them. Very impressive sequence of play from the Spanish team, and now they're going to be very tough to pull back.
Oh, that one might be costly. Off the upright from close in. And it is 17-7. Spain. Pole player, the 24-year-old from Barcelona, a Rio Olympian. And his sister Barbara is the captain of Spain 7s and 15s. Well-known family in rugby terms in Spain. 6 missed tackles by Scotland. Missing some key players through injury. And there might not be a lot of petrol in the tank. But still plenty of time for them to hit back. But it is Spain again through Hernandez. Carry on, who's been impressive in this match. Sant goes to ground, 25 out. Fontes and Martin shoveling it across field. Hernandez and Blah. It's all Spain with the momentum at the moment. Fontes gets it out to Genua. And now Carry On losing his footing. Still there for the Spanish. Fontes. Hernandez. Martin. Offloads off the ground to Pla. Fontes. Short side they go, and Pla has got a double. And an upset is looming here in the trophy quarter-final. Well done, Spain. Another try. 22 points to 7.
Well, it's amazing what a bit of confidence does in the first half. They looked disinterested, didn't they, the Spanish team? They looked tired, they looked fatigued. They got that try from Carry On. And since then, this second half, they've been a different team. The passes are nice and wide. They're on the chest. They got into their game plan. And now Scotland just can't get any possession.
There's the extra 2 as well. So 24 points to 7. It is Spain over Scotland.
They like to go back to blind, use these short corridors and these short passes. Because they're having multiple phases, the defence is just so tired. And Joe Ayathabal, he's the guy who's come off the bench for Scotland. He can change the game, but they need the ball. Look at that pass that's completed. A lot there in that stat in this game, I think. 44 for Spain.
Spain with the restart. Riddell takes it for Scotland. Gets it back to Pecure. Elves scrum half and great possession in the second half for the Scots. The 13th man. Ross McCann for Scotland.
Yeah, not a good option there from McCann coming across. You have to pull out there. There's no way you're going to get on the outside. Just a little bit of inexperience there for the young man coming in, Ross McCann. It just heaps whole much more pressure. They've had hardly any possession, the Scottish. You can't give it away like that or make any type of comeback.
Thomas Pearce coming on for Spain, one of their UK-born players.
Time on.
So they can really seal the deal now, Spain. Carter, another one of English-born players. Both Pearce and Carter, students from Hartbury College that also produced the great Dan Norton, leading point scorer on the HSBC Sevens World Series. And a loose carry there by Manu Sant.
Look where they are, though, where they made that mistake. They're right in the Scottish 22. It's Riddell, the captain for Scotland there, creating a turnover through that tackling technique, punches the ball out. They're going to have to go 70-odd metres here. The Scottish team from the scrum.
Please don't walk around. Crouch. Bind. Set.
Can they go coast to coast? So Scotland. Through the captain, they get the penalty. Now McCann.
Not 10 advantage.
Beat one. Riddell wide.
Advantage over.
Hubble. McFarlane.
Backwards.
Went backwards, and Spain pick it up through Pierce. Hernandez. Fontes. Across to Sant. Nowhere for Fontes to go, but they pick it up at the base of the ruck, and it is Sant. Has he got the pace? Oh, he's going to look for support, and then he hands it off to Alonso as the full-time siren sounds. And Pierce down the short side. Sans in the touch, it goes. And that's a fantastic performance by Spain. That'll give them a lot of confidence going forward on day 2 in Cape Town. Second of the Cup. In fact, the Challenge quarterfinals, and full time in an upset. Spain 24-7 over Scotland.